Hello, Crafty Journaler. Welcome to the Crafty Journaler. My name is Sarah, and this is the Crafty Journaler. And this is my channel where I do a lot of fun crafts for junk journaling. I also do a lot of content that relates to junk journaling. So if that's something that you think you'll be into, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Turn on your notification bell and let a friend know that we're here. That way we could grow this channel together. In today's video, I'm actually hoping to do a DIY of how to do a multiple fold out folder for your junk journals that you could then stuff with a lot of fun ephemera and a lot of fun like stickers or what have you. Now I actually did try to record this yesterday, and it did take me quite a long time. Then I realized that my microphone, I guess, decided to not work. And then also part of what I recorded wasn't actually recorded, which I really don't know what happened there. I'm guessing I probably either forgot to press record or I'm really not sure. But anyways, I thought I'm going to try again. What I did realize is that I might have to divide this DIY into a couple of videos just so that it's more easy for you to digest and kind of follow along with me. Now, this is a pretty, I want to say, easy project. It is, I want to say it's more like a mid-level to beginner level kind of project for junk journaling, and I really enjoyed doing it. It was pretty fun to just create all the fold outs. Kind of reminds me of the Lisa Frank colors because of the vibrancy that they have and stuff. But I'm making these for a 90s themed journal. So that's the vibe on this. And this is what it is. So I have these fun little folders, and they fold out in 4 ways. So it is pretty big. Let me see if there's a way I could oh, okay, I think that's as far as my camera is gonna go. So anyways, let me show you one first. So it's gonna fold out up to reveal some pockets and more pockets. And again, this is so that we could stuff our journals with fun ephemera and whatnot. Once we fold that out, it then folds down, which you see 2 pockets right here. There is a pocket right here and an additional pocket right here. Once we get that out of the way, this also folds out like so. Also, we have more pockets and a bunch of fun stationery. So we have a couple of post-it notes in different shapes, and then we have some fun ephemera that we could use to tear out and decorate our journals further, or to write on, depending on what you want it to use it for. And so we're gonna try to recreate this together. It is a pretty big project, but it's just so much fun to do. And this is the one that I had tried to do with you guys yesterday, so we're just gonna go ahead and try again. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. I actually made these myself. I drew them up. Just gives that 90s nostalgia vibe. We probably won't be doing this part. We're just gonna be doing the actual layout of the folder. So all the fold outs and all of that. So okay. So step 1, you're gonna need a cardstock paper standard size, which is the 11 by 8.5. Yes. I always forget the actual measurement. So you're going to be needing a cardstock paper in standard size, which again is 8.5 by 11, so 8, 11. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be decorating it. On this one, I did do the kind of 90s theme, things that remind me of 90s theme. On this one, I'm just going to do a fun little, just fun. So I'll probably just add something neutral to the background, maybe some flowers. So let's go ahead and we'll be using my Tim Holtz Distress Oxide ink in the color Gathered Twigs. And what you want to do is and if you want to protect the bottom of your mats, pull out your protective layer that you use and now go to town. And you're just going to create a fun paper, unique. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. Of course, you want to clean off your stamp as quickly as you can, just to make sure that the ink doesn't stay on there too much. And you could do this with a baby wipe. Just wipe it down. Okay. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be scoring some lines. So I got my scoring board. Okay. And then I set up my paper, and so I want to say 3 3/4. And then I am going to turn it around, and then I'm going to do it again at 3.5 instead of the 3/4. So that there, if I am counting correctly, should be right. It's actually 425, which is okay. So now we're just gonna fold that down, and then we'll fold this down. Okay, now that we have that, we're gonna bring back our scoring board, and then we're gonna be doing a 1/2 inch on the side. So 1/2 inch right here, 1/2 inch right here. So okay, so now we have our score lines for our base of our folder. And now what we're going to do is we're going to be cutting off one end. We'll be using our scissors, and we're just going to cut it at the bottom line of our score line. And then up here, we're going to be cutting at an angle like so. Now we're going to use this as our guide on the opposite side. So line it up to the line, and then with a pencil just mark a line like that. And now we're going to be cutting that. So we'll cut there and then cut right at the bottom line of the score line. And that should give you this. Now you're going to repeat that on the other side. Once you're done with that, you're going to end up with something like this. And you're just going to reinforce your score lines. So you're going to fold them down, and you could either use what you use to do your score or a bone folder. And I actually prefer using my bone folder, so I will be grabbing my bone folder and we're going to just fold it there. Fold it there, fold it here, and fold it here. So now you end up with like a trifold or a folder, or that folds into 3 parts. So 1, 2, and 3. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cover this part right here. So we're going to cover right here and right here. We're going to be using if we want to, we could use our scraps or we could use different paper. I'm going to be using paper that I already have out. So I actually have this paper pad out. So we'll use this one. We could just find what speaks to us and use that. So I think this one would be cool. We could use this one. This one's nice too. See if we could find something else. This one's not speaking to me. Let me see if I could find another paper pad. I have a couple of paper pads, like paper I have. So we have options. I think I found the one. So we'll be doing these two. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be covering this with one. And then we're going to be using this for pockets. And then on the opposite side, we're going to be inverting them. So one will be the pocket and one will be the background. So I will be measuring out this right here because I didn't follow my my own measurements earlier. So we're doing it pretty much as we go along. So right here, this measures 3 inches and 1/4. So then I will be doing the cut line of the width at 3 inches because I want to see the color of the back peeking through. I just think that looks cool. If you want it to be precise to the size, I would just put this over your paper on the back wherever you can see better and just trace out that line, and that way you could have it exact to your size. I would say to be wary of this line right here because when you fold in and out, it could make that paper bubble out. So but for me, I'm going to be cutting it at 3, so I could just go to my mat and then count 3 squares. So 1, 2, 3, or let's see, you see on the top, 1, 2, 3, that's 3 inches. I'm going to cut right here. So there's a couple of ways that you could do this. You could either cut it with your cutting knife or your cutter, or you could trace a line and then take it to your guillotine and pass it over on your guillotine. Sometimes that's more precise, so it's more recommended to do that. But because we live a 1/4 mile at a time here, we're gonna just cut it. And now what I would do is I would probably use this as my guide for the next part, just to make sure that it's the same size. And okay. And so now we have our two of these ready to use. And so we're going to cut it to the height that we want it, which again, let's measure that out. And the height is 7.5, which means that we will be cutting it at, it's actually more like 7 1/4 and a little bit more than 1/4. So let's cut it at 7 1/4 of height. And again, you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and one of these little dots is 1/4. Okay, I'll be using those later. And we have these. So now we're going to do the same on this one. We're going to measure out and then start cutting it down. It seems to be just right. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make the pockets for our fold outs here. So it doesn't really have, like, you can make any kind of pockets you want. So you can make them diagonal, you can make them with a little dip in the middle, like folder style. It really is up to you. You can dream it, you can do it kind of mentality. So let's go ahead and do a couple different ones. So for this side, we'll do a couple in diagonal. So we'll do like so. And what I'll do is I'll cut a little bit off the top right here. Like that. That'll be one pocket. And then on the top, we'll do a corner pocket. I'm sorry, not corner pocket. Pocket like this with a little dip in the middle. And we'll use that in a second, so don't get rid of that one. So we're going to find our center as close as we can. And then we'll do our little dip. Now here is the option that you have. You could either distress it now or leave it alone. I don't mind it not being distressed, so I'm going to leave it as is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by gluing these down. So I'm going to grab my glue. And be generous on the edges here. And then we'll align it as best we can. And then we're going to hold it down. And there we go. We have our pocket. Our first little pocket. So now here on the bottom, what we're going to do I am going to get my corner cutters, or yeah, just to kind of decorate my corners, and I am going to cut these out before I glue it down. Set this aside for a second, and now we're gonna glue this down. So we'll add a little bit of glue here. And again, we're just gonna be holding it in place. So now we're gonna grab our pocket and we're gonna glue it down to our base. And there's different things that you could do. You could actually leave a side open and use that as an extra tuck, or you could glue it all down. I'm actually going to be gluing it all down because I do think that we do have quite a bit of pockets, and I would prefer this to be stable on here, especially since we're going to be folding it out and filling it up with a lot of fun ephemera. So once we have the glue down on the pockets, we're just going to glue this side down. So we're going to grab our glue and we're going to be generous because we want it to stay on there very well. Okay, so now that my dogs rudely interrupted me for nothing other than a cracking noise, we're done with this side. So what we're going to be doing is the opposite side, and we're just going to invert the pattern. So if this is our pocket, this is now going to be our background, and these are going to be our pockets. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm actually going to do that off camera because it's basically the same thing again. Okay, so now we have our decorative pockets in the front of our fold. And now we're gonna be doing the inside of it. And in the inside, I want it to be like stationary stuff. So we're gonna be adding some post-it notes and stuff like that, so that we could use later on. So we'll start off by using these right here, and we'll be using not a lot, but some, just to give something to play with. And we're gonna put it right here. And so I actually want this to stay on there pretty well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reinforce the glue in the back of this with some double-sided glue tape. And the fun thing about this tape is that it actually, you could still remove it. So it's not going to leave residue or anything like that. It's going to be able to be removed from here and still be able to be used. So once we have that one there, we'll add a couple of the Post-its of different kinds. And like, I have a lot of stationery that I bought when I first started, and I really hoard a lot of this stuff. So this is me trying to use a lot of that stuff. And So yeah, we're going to be adding something right here. Before we do that, I did forget to round my corners, so let's go ahead and do that. And we'll just round, and round. And so we'll add some double-sided tape here. And we'll lay it right here. We could then add some of these. So and there we go. So now we have this side, this, and then right here we're gonna add another post-it note and then a pocket down here, just like we added in these. So let's just take a look at them really quick. So it's different post-its and different in the middle, but we're just making it a new version of it. So feeling like this one doesn't have enough, so we'll add a little bit more right there. And now we're going to be using this one, which I mentioned earlier not to throw out, and we're just going to glue this down here. So we're going to grab our glue and just do the edges. And now we have our pocket right here. And I think we're going to stop this video here. And then I'll do another video and I'll do the other part. I think I might divide this into either 2 parts or 3 parts. So with that being said, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to like, subscribe, share, let a friend know. All that helps the algorithm quite a bit to be to let people know that this is a fun content, and it'll put out my content out there for other people. So again, be sure to smash that like button, comment, let me know what you would have done differently and all that fun stuff. And then I'll see you in the next video. All right, that's a wrap. Bye. Come back for part 2.
Well, that's it. I really hope you enjoyed it. We had a ball making it.